My name is Zhang Fei, and I'm in my 50s. My parents had 2 sons. I'm the elder one, and my younger brother is 3 years younger than me. When I was a child, my parents treated me very well. Although they sometimes favored my brother, I could understand it. After all, he was younger. Back then, our home was always lively and full of warmth. After I got married, things gradually changed. As a young man, I was ambitious and eager to make a name for myself through business. But reality was harsh. Due to my lack of experience, I lost more money than I earned, and our family life became increasingly difficult. During that period, I clearly felt my parents' attitude toward me change. They no longer cared about me as they used to, and even seemed somewhat distant. I remember once I accidentally injured my foot quite badly. My wife wasn't home at the time. She had gone to take care of our daughter, who had just given birth. I called my mother and asked her to come over to cook for me. She did, but only for 2 days, then went back home to take care of my brother, who had just returned from elsewhere. With no one to look after me, I had to ask my wife for help. She contacted her friend, a woman in her 70s, who kindly brought me 3 meals a day without complaint. I was deeply moved yet heartbroken. I couldn't understand why a stranger could be so caring while my own mother seemed so indifferent. That feeling of being treated unequally was deeply painful. Every time I visited my father, he never smiled and spoke to me in a cold tone. I could feel that I wasn't welcome. After several such visits, I stopped going as often because it made me sad. Still, I never resented them. I just felt suffocated inside. Even so, I often asked my wife to cook some good dishes to bring to my parents as a gesture of filial piety. Yet each time, their reaction was lukewarm, even reluctant. I remember crying quietly at night, and sometimes even in front of my children. I truly felt wounded, deeply hurt by my own parents. In contrast, my younger brother, who worked in a big city, seemed to be their favorite. Later, he started his own company and made good money. My parents always spoke of him with pride. Whenever he came home, my mother would clean and prepare his room days in advance, wash and dry the bedding, and fill the table with delicious food. But when I came home, the house felt cold and silent. That sense of neglect broke my heart again and again. Fortunately, my wife has always been kind and gentle. She never quarreled with my parents because of these things. Instead, she often comforted me, saying, "They're your parents after all, don't take it too personally." She even cooked food herself and asked me to bring it to them. Sometimes I didn't want to go, but when I saw how forgiving she was, I felt I had no right to hold a grudge. Later, when my father was 80, he was diagnosed with late-stage lung cancer. The doctor said he might not live for another year. I was completely stunned. My business had just started to improve, and I had finally reached a point where I could provide a better life for my family. I wanted to be a good son, but fate played a cruel joke on me. From then on, I devoted myself entirely to caring for my father. Whatever he wanted to eat, I would buy it. Whenever he wanted to go for a walk, I would accompany him. I bathed him, shaved him, cut his hair, and trimmed his nails. I did everything personally. At that time, I had only one thought in mind: to spend as much time with him as possible so I wouldn't have any regrets. Perhaps my sincerity touched him because my father's attitude slowly changed. He began to praise me in front of others, saying, "My elder son is truly filial." His gaze toward me also softened. That long-lost fatherly affection almost brought me to tears. The doctor said he could live for no more than a year, but he survived for over 2 years. Those 2 years were the time when my father and I finally reconnected. We reminisced about the past together, and sometimes he would gently pat my shoulder and say, "You've worked hard." I knew those were the most genuine words of love he had ever spoken to me. When my father passed away, I cried uncontrollably. In that moment, I had only one thought: how wonderful it would have been if he could have lived another 10 years. Just when I was finally able to give him a good life, he was gone. Now only my mother is still alive. She's in her 80s, and her health is relatively stable, though she occasionally needs to visit the hospital. I tell myself that no matter how busy I am, I must visit her often. After all, she gave birth to me and raised me. She once loved me deeply. Maybe she's just grown old and confused. So I no longer hold grudges against her.